was watching the sun set, all of a sudden I saw Jesus, the Son of God, standing in the sun. As I stood there gazing upon this setting and marveling at the play on words, the sun in the sun, and what I actually was seeing, I also saw the hand of God come out of a big cloud. As the sun lowered in the sky, it seemed to rest into God the Father's hand. Then I heard the voice of the Father impress me and say, I support my Son and his new covenant. Immediately as he spoke those words to me, I saw in the sky, out behind the sun, 3 columns of rippled clouds that appeared to be Hebrew words on the scripts or parchments. It was the covenant in writing. I marveled at what I saw, but I know the Father loved his Son and was letting me know it, so I could tell you. That is the new covenant, love. Love God the Father and his Son, Jesus Christ. And then love one another as you love yourself. Walk in love. Here I want to point out to you the Son of God in the sun, the hand of God as it came out from behind the clouds, and then I could see columns as if they were parchments. And these words that were written in the clouds were that of Hebrew script. And I was amazed at what I saw. God shows me very distinctly detail, and he means every word he speaks. It's perfect. In the book of Hebrew is the understanding of the new covenant. Allow me to share that understanding with you. It says in Hebrews chapter 8, verse 10, For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. In that he saith a new covenant, he hath made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxed old is ready to vanish away. Then verily the first covenant had also ordinances of a divine service and a worldly sanctuary made by the hands of man. And I want to jump down to verse 8. The Holy Ghost thus signifying that the way into the holiest of all was not yet made manifest, while as the first tabernacle was yet standing, which was a figure for the time then present, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that were both that could not make them that did the service perfect as pertaining to your conscience, which stood only in meats and drinks, and divers washings and cardinal ordinances imposed on them until the time of Reformation. Verse 11, But Christ, here is where the change comes. But Christ being come, a high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with the hands of man, that is to say, not of this building, neither by the blood of goats or calves, but by his own blood, he entered in once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us. The blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of a heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the flesh. How much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? And for this cause he is the mediator of the new covenant, that by means of death for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Now, I want to share with you then Hebrews chapter 10, verse 16. This is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their hearts, and in their minds will I write them, and their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. When he writes them in our heart and in our mind, that's so that we will not forget them, okay? He did not do away with them. He fully intends for us to observe and obey and respect his laws and his judgments and ordinances and statutes. But Jesus is our mediator and our sacrifice for sin. Understand that he has given us the new covenant, and when we will walk in love as he has commanded us, it will cover a multitude of sins. Pray that this blesses you.